Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's another fine Sunday, and I'm actually doing this video from Kisumu. I arrived here in the morning just to do 1-2 before heading back home for the arrangement of my dad's funeral. William Samoei Ruto was in Busia County yesterday. On Friday, the Deputy President was in Kakamega County. And for those who followed those events very closely, there are certain things which were very clear. In Kakamega, number one, Boni Halwale was heckled. And I asked myself why Boni Halwale was actually heckled. My conclusion was that Boni Halwale was heckled because of the infighting within Team Tangatanga. There's a group within Team Tangatanga from Western Kenya who believes that the Deputy President is actually favoring Boni Halwale, but Boni Halwale, according to them, is not the right guy. So they wanted to prove a point to the DP that Boni Halwale should not be the point person. If you watch that video where Halwale or the DP was being heckled, Boni Halwale was shocked. And from his facial expression, you could tell that Boni Halwale could do nothing. So there's infighting within Team Tangatanga. That's one thing I observed. The second thing, in Busia, there was also the heckling, which in my view can be attributed to some elements within the ODM party. Nothing really related to Tangatanga. And I want to advise our youths, if you don't want to listen to anybody, please don't attend their rallies. Don't. Just keep off. Let Ruto go to Busia, sell his policies. Let Raila go to Eldoret, sell his policies. Do not attempt to be used to stop anybody from addressing any rally. But there was that element of heckling. The second thing I noted is that the DP tried so much to avoid attacking Musalia Mudavadi directly. In the past, the DP would have dismantled Musalia Mudavadi. But this time he was very cautious. The only person the DP was attacking directly was actually Raila Odinga. I don't know if he was doing that because he has identified Raila Odinga as his main opponent and Mudavadi not an opponent, or maybe he realized that, for example, in Kakamega, Mudavadi's presence is so strong to an extent that attacking Musalia Mudavadi was not going to be helpful to his campaigns. And just a small advice to the DP. He is now a presidential candidate. In my view, he should avoid these attacks on fellow politicians because he lives in a glass house. So these politicians might also decide to attack. Like, you remember that time when Jirongo was attacking the DP over Jacob Juma. Politicians might decide to start going that direction. We don't want our country to go to that direction. So that's something I also observed. The third thing I observed was that the DP is now trying so hard to explain the bottoms-up approach, using Mama Mboga, using the youths, using Mama Mboga, using the youths, using the women. And I observed something. Let me just show you. I noted it somewhere on a tweet. The DP is trying to explain this, and this is what he's saying. In Butula, the DP said that he will set 50 billion aside for Mama Mbogas. In Ambale, he was talking of 100 billion. And then in Kakamega, he was talking of 40 billion. As a presidential candidate, the DP should come up with a constant figure. If the figure is 50 billion, let it stick to that. If the figure is going to be 100 billion, let him stick to that. But why do you think the event, or why do you think the deputy president decided to go to Western Kenya? And of course, I've always maintained that William Ruto's presidential bid is pegged on the larger Mount Kenya region. Any slip of Mount Kenya region will render the deputy president's bid to the ground. But the DP saw an opportunity in Western Kenya and in the coastal region. And that can explain why the DP was in coast and then came to Western. If Central Kenya is sleeping, based on the opinion poll which was released the other day, because we've been using that same opinion poll, which was giving the DP at 80 something percent, now that rating has reduced to 58. Was it 58 or 62%? 58%. So it means the DP must work extra hard to win the support in Western. And there's a chance for DP in Western Kenya. For example, in Western, there's that borderline. But Western Kenya borders some parts of Rift Valley and Nyanza. Those borderlines, there's a chance that he can actually win the support. So he must get good percentage from Western and from Western and from Coast. So the DP is now focusing in Western. Remember, Musalia Mudavadi had hoped that the president was going to endorse him, but that's now not going to happen. So why do you think the DP is going to the larger Mount Kenya region? I mean, the larger Western Kenya region. What was the objective of his latest trip? 4 objectives only. Number 1, I think the DP is going to Western or went to Western Kenya to try and avert any division within Team Tanga Tanga. The truth of the matter is that Tanga Tanga, or the United Democratic Alliance Party, has emerged as a strong political party. And any strong political party normally attracts huge following. And huge following also comes with huge interest of aspirants. So you go to coastal region, for example, there are so many aspirants. Like when the DP went to Kwale and endorsed the deputy governor as the preferred gubernatorial candidate, and then there's a gentleman who was campaigning on order. So those divisions, you go to Kakamega, for example, there's Boni Halwale fighting with Ben Washiali, fighting with Rashid Echesa on who should actually be the point person. So the DP, in my view, went to try and solve these divisions. Of course, it's not only in Coast and Western. Even in Nakuru, there's serious division pitting Senator Susan Kehika and Kimani Ngujiri. So he went to Western Kenya to try. If you go to Busia, for example, who are his point person? There are several people who wants to be the point person, but some of them feel that the people the DP trust are not the right guy. That could even explain why there was heckling. Heckling can even be organized internally just to prove a point. So in my view, the DP is trying, as at now, to avert the division. Remember, there was that list of UDA officials who from Western Kenya is represented, or is the face of, who is the face of Western Kenya. In that list, Boni Alwale's name was not there. Whose name was there? Whose face was there? So maybe he went, discussed with the leadership of UDA about all this so that the division can be averted. That's number one. Number two, I think the DP is also trying so hard to tame Raila Amolo Odinga. You see, Raila Odinga is now focusing more on the larger Mount Kenya region. So what the DP has done now, he has left now the larger Mount Kenya region, then he's now focusing on Raila Odinga's side, which means Raila Odinga will then probably, maybe next week or next week, but one, decide to now go back to his strongholds, because any vote which Raila Odinga is going to lose from his stronghold is not good for him for several reasons. NASACO principles have left. They are on their own. So where will Raila Odinga get votes to cater for those? He's getting them from the larger Mount Kenya region, if he will succeed, that is. Which means he must retain his base. He must try so hard that his base remains contact. But the DP is now saying, okay, you are going to my stronghold, let me also go to your strongholds, so that both of us now can go back and re-strategize. That's number two. Number three, I also tend to think that the DP is actually on a mission of identifying strong aspirants in these regions. How many parliamentary aspirants are in Busia County? And how many of them are strong? You can always tell strong aspirants, like when you go to Bomala and you give them opportunity to speak and you are seated there, you can tell this guy mobilize, this guy did not mobilize, this guy, maybe he might not just have resources, but the ground in fail. So the DP, in my view, is using these meetings to identify aspirants, in my view. Remember, the DP strategy was very simple. Use the church. So he has used the church to go to some of these grounds. So he believes that church is with him. Like if you go to Busia, now he's going to the people directly, now the political class, because the political class are the people you meet on the streets and the aspirants now. So you'll be able to tell who is the strongest amongst these. And lastly, I think it's Mount Kenya politics. I tend to think that the DP is feeling the heat of Raila Odinga's entry into the larger Mount Kenya region. And of course, Raila Odinga might not win in the larger Mount Kenya region, but he's making good progress, and that is what is worrying the DP. So which means the DP must now get out and consolidate other extra voting blocks. In the past, if the DP had 5 events in a week, 7 events in a week, 5 of them would be in Mount Kenya region. But what we are seeing now is that it's a deputy president who spent almost 5 days in the coastal region. Then from coastal region, there was that national event where he also scored highly. Then from there, the deputy president went straight to Kakamega, Busia. So basically, the Mount Kenya politics is now a problem for the DP, and now he must get out of Central, because remember, Kenyans used to ask, kwani churches wako tu Central or Mount Kenya region, where the deputy president would every weekend attend fundraiser for churches. So now he's going to coastal region, he's going to Kakamega, just to try and figure out in case Mount Kenya is going to split or to slip. Sorry. I don't know what you think. That's my take. And for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue to thank you guys for your support. It's amazing. You can still reach me out on my M-Pesa number, 0712 741323. 0712 741323. The name should be Omondi Kogal. Kogal. Good day.